Welcome back to the RV Queens podcast, where we dive into the world of women making money and living life on the road. I'm Kate, your host and fellow traveler, and today I'm going to flip the script on how we think about success. To start us off, I want to drop a question into your psyche. What if the key to success in 2025 isn't working hard, setting big goals, or constantly chasing the next milestone? What if the key that literally unlocks success in you was something much simpler and something much more powerful? I'm talking today about the importance of feeling good, not just as a byproduct of success, but as the actual path to it. This episode might challenge some of your beliefs, and that's a good thing, I think. So get excited, grab your coffee, and let's roll. All right, my friends, if you know me at all, you know I like to keep it real. So I want to be honest and start off this podcast episode being honest with ourselves. Raise your mental hand or your physical one, whatever, if you've had these type of thoughts before. Once I hit 6 figures, then I'll feel successful. Once I lose the weight, then I'll feel confident. Once I get my business to a place where I can take a break, then I'll feel at peace. There's a lot of variations on this theme here, even something small like, once I reach 1,000 followers on Instagram, I'll feel so much better. Does this sound familiar? I know it does for me. As humans, we set goals because we like to check boxes and we think that attaining a goal will bring us fulfillment, right? We chase after them because we believe that hitting these milestones will finally make us happy, confident, or at peace. But here's the truth. That's a trap! I'm picturing that Star Wars Admiral guy that looks like an alien with a floppy face saying, "It's a trap!" You know that meme, right? I'm not alone here. Okay, anyways, the point I'm making is this. If you're always waiting for the next goal to allow you to feel good, you'll never actually get there. And that's exactly what I realized in my own life. I honestly have failed at achieving so many goals in my adult life. I used to be a big yearly plan nerd, and I would buy the Michael Hyatt journals and map out the best year ever. And then in classic high-achieving new mom phase, I would overcommit myself and throw in the towel halfway through the year. I failed at achieving my big, hairy, audacious goals, and I would feel like a failure and fall off the bandwagons. Looking back, I realized that I failed all those big, beautiful goals, not because I wasn't capable, but because I was codependent on them. I tied my happiness, my self-worth, and my whole identity to whether or not I achieved something. If I didn't hit the goal, I felt like a failure. If I did hit it, and there was this one time when I had a business and I had worked so hard to get a partnership in place with this really big corporation, I got a $40,000 check deposited in my account. I literally achieved and surpassed this big goal I had been chasing. And guess what happened? When I saw the money in my account, I felt a small thrill for a minute and I can't believe I just did that. But honestly, the high was temporary, and suddenly I needed another goal to get that hit of feeling worthy and good enough again. Let me tell you, this whole cycle is exhausting. I lived in it for like a decade, so I decided to stop the madness. Instead of chasing these external goals, I started chasing fulfillment on the inside first. I started reverse engineering the happiness I realized I was chasing. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because when you feel good first, everything else starts falling into place. All right, let's get into what this actually means and how this concept works. Am I asking you to just stop setting goals altogether, sit back and do nothing and let life happen to you? No, come on. I'm a big believer that you create the life you want and take steps every day to build your life. I'm talking about making a shift in where you focus your energy. Instead of focusing on achieving an outward goal that we think will make us feel a certain way, let's focus on achieving that feeling first. Seriously, think about it. The reason we set goals in the first place is because we want a certain feeling, probably something like accomplishment, freedom, confidence, feeling worthy, and feeling good about yourself. And before you think I'm getting all woo-woo in the clouds on you, so you're probably planning out your travels for the rest of the year, and if you're heading out west, I hope that Bryce Canyon is on your must-see list. It's one of our family's favorite national parks. I recommend staying at Bryce Canyon RV Resort, which is a short drive from the park entrance, has incredible views, full hookups, and all the family-friendly amenities you're looking for. Bryce Canyon RV Resort is an Our Journey campground, so you know it's going to be clean and safe. Click the link in the show notes to book now and start your journey with our journey. Guess what? Science tells us something fascinating, which is this. Our brains don't actually need us to achieve something to start feeling good about ourselves. If you're a personal growth nerd like me, I'm sure you've heard about this whole brain's reticular activating system, or it's also called the RAS for short. This is a part of your brain that acts as a filter. It takes in information from the world around you and decide what's important based on what you focus on. For example, have you ever decided that your family wants to buy a certain type of car and then suddenly you start seeing it everywhere? That is your RAS at work. Your brain literally scans your environment for things that match what you've told it to focus on. This is the same reason that visualization is so powerful. When you give your brain a clear vision of what you want, it starts working behind the scenes to make it happen. There's this book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it was written by a plastic surgeon named Maxwell Maltz, who wondered why some of his patients felt good about themselves after plastic surgery and some didn't. In his book, he talks about this concept in depth. He found that our minds operate like a built-in GPS system. For example, when we give it a destination, it starts adjusting our actions and decisions to get us to our goal. And here's the kicker. Your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and, a well-imagined vision. So if you focus on feeling good now, if you focus on embodying the confidence you want, on joy, on ease, on fulfillment, and all those type of feelings before your goal is achieved, your brain starts aligning everything in your life to match that state. Now let's talk about how to incorporate this concept into everyday life. For me, I started shifting my focus from achieving to feeling good first. And I do this in two ways. Number one, I pay attention to how my body feels. The first thing in the morning, instead of waking up and letting my brain go first to what do I need to do today? What do the kids need? Has the dog been let out? I pause and I ask myself, how do I want to feel right now? Do I feel all kinked up in my muscles and all stressed? Honestly, that's normally how I wake up. Then I do some yoga because it helps me feel peaceful. Do I want to feel energized and strong? Then I move my body, lift some weights, maybe do some push-ups. Am I feeling scarce? Like I don't have any money and I don't want to spend any money and I'm all in my head about it? If I want to feel that feeling of abundance, I do some gratitude journaling and appreciate the people in my life and everything I already have. So that's the first thing that I do. The second thing that I do to achieve feeling good is let my brain and spirit do some work. Just go with me on this. Instead of forcing things, I envision them. So this is a little woo, and I'm okay with it. Just come with me on this journey here. Mel Robbins talks about this in her book, The High Five Habit. When you picture yourself succeeding and embodying confidence before you achieve the thing, your brain starts to believe it's possible. Another guy I listen to, Ed Milet, says something similar. He talks about pulling your goals towards you by feeling them in advance. So instead of trying to control everything, I let myself dream, visualize, and focus on what I call the $1 million version of myself. What does the $1 million me feel like right now? What is she wearing? How does the me who has an abundance of money in the bank, a thriving business, a happy family life, how does she go about her day? What does she post on social media? How does she take care of her body? When I start to think about these things, you know what happens? I sit up a little taller. I do my hair and my makeup. I treat my kids with joy and ease. And opportunities show up. The right connections are made. The right ideas come to me at the right time, not because I'm forcing it or chasing these goals super hard, but because I'm allowing it. This is all about getting yourself right on the inside first and being open to the outside world to align with that inner life that you have. You have embodied the joy, the ease, the fulfillment, and the peace that you're seeking when you set goals and plan your life. And guess what? With this inner work, you're planting the seeds for your outer world to shape up how you want it to, how you've envisioned it. So here's my challenge for you this week. Are you feeling this? Are you still with me? I want you to schedule some time to spend time in your imagination. Imagine the $1 million you and get detailed with it. Like, how does she look? How does she speak to her husband and her kids? How does she feel as she goes about her day? What does she spend her time doing? And then I want you to get out of your head, stop your brain from focusing on productivity and your perpetual to-do list, and get into your body. What do you need to do with your body to feel like the $1 million you? Allow yourself the time, just give yourself the permission here to do what you need to do to feel good. And then make choices that align with that feeling. Then do your work, send the emails, write the social posts, do the outreach, make the food for the kids, and clean it up for the 20,000th time. All as the $1 million you. This is going to sound cheesy, but I really believe it and I have lived it. When you feel good first, success isn't something you have to chase by maniacally trying to achieve goals. Success is something that starts chasing you. And I don't know about you, but that's the kind of success I want in my life. Not the hustle and grind American madness. You can't achieve that abundant, peace-filled, confident life of your $1 million you if you're operating out of stress and scarcity and sickness and worry. You just can't get to feeling good if your starting point is feeling bad. You can't get there from here, right? Oh, yes. All right, my friends. I wish you the best week as you focus on feeling good and envisioning your $1 million you. Thank you for hanging out with me today. If this episode resonated with you, let's keep the conversation going. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at RV Queens Podcast, or share this episode with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, keep dreaming, keep feeling good, and keep rolling forward. I'll see you next week, or hopefully, I'll see you on the road. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's episode and for being part of the RV Queens community. Remember to hit subscribe on whatever platform you're listening on. And guess what? You can have conversations like I had on this episode with your fellow RV women who are living intentionally and making money on the road. Head to rvqueenspodcast.com/community to join RV Queen Circles today. It's a totally unique online space with a shared prosperity model that's all about community over competition. I'd love to have you be a part. All right, guys, I'll see you next week, or hopefully I will see you on the road. That's a trap.